What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 10 match for Red, or the Regional Elite Draft League. We are taking on Locoghoul and the New Jersey Houndooms. We've only played Loco one previous time, and it's actually in video format on my channel, if you guys actually care enough to check that out. It will be way at the bottom if you're scrolling down videos-wise, or if you like playlists, it'll be in the LET Season 1 playlist, or the League of Extraordinary Trainers. We played there, and I took home the victory, and that was about 8 months ago, so it's been a really long time since we played Loco, and I was really looking forward to this match. I thought the matchup was horrendous for me on paper, and I struggled really hard building, so shoutouts to Magic for sort of getting me out of my rut and helping a lot with how the build went down. But let's talk about Loco's team. He is Landorus-Therian, which is a Z user. I'm not sure what to expect of it this match. Tapu Fini, which I would imagine is some form of defensive Fini, just based on the outlook of his team. It feels like he would want to have like physically defensive Torkoal, especially a defensive Fini, that kind of thing. Ferrothorn, which didn't come, Latios, which didn't come, Venusaur, which didn't come. I'm surprised about all three of those. Mega Houndoom, which I was definitely expecting. I knew 100% Mega Houndoom was coming. Sock, which I wasn't expecting and didn't come. Torkoal, which I was expecting to set the sun, and it came. Manectric, which I wasn't expecting and didn't come. Sawsbuck, which I was kind of not expecting but did come. And Aerodactyl, which I was expecting and came. So, yeah, his rockers are Arrow, Torkoal, or Lando. His removal is Lando, Torkoal, Arrow, or Fini. He actually brought all of his removal options. Sorry, most of his removal options. Latios didn't come, but he only has access to rocks, no spikes, which is very helpful against my team since I did not bring any removal myself, which actually seems to be quite the theme because my removal is complete and utter garbage on this roster, despite the fact that I'm weak to rocks. So, oh, he brought Lando, but he didn't bring Pharaoh, so all my fire coverage on everything is like almost a waste of space, but there you go. And let's get right into things then. So if you haven't seen the team builder, you should check that out. I was a little bit emo in the team builder, talking about the matchup and stuff, but I'll just run through what I'm bringing really quickly here. Thick Vat Spidef Miltank with Body Slam, Milk Drink, Fire Punch, and Rocks. Assault Vest Modest Fragology with Draco, Sludge Wave, Icy Wind, and Hidden Power Fire. Koba Berry, Physically Defensive, Buzzwole with Drain Punch, Leech Life, Ice Punch, and Roost. Fortax Mega Alakazam with Hidden Power Fire, Psychic, Focus Blast, and Signal Beam. Choice Scarf Salazzle with Fire Blast, Sludge Wave, Flamethrower, HP Ice, and Lychee Berry Rock Polish Donphan with Knock Off, Ice Shard, and Earthquake. I'm going to lead off with my Miltank. Figure it's the easiest way to get up rocks. I was definitely considering leading Dragalge because there's a really good chance that Draco Meteor just O-code Torkoal right off the bat, and then I wouldn't have to worry about Sun mainly for most of the rest of the match. However, I was too scared of a Lando lead and or an Arrow lead, and so I ended up not leading Dragalge, and I went with the safe lead of Miltank, as he is going to lead with his Torkoal. And we're just going to trade rocks turn 1, which I thought was, it was okay. And now I'm just going to gauge what sort of set he is by body slamming, and he's going to Lava Plume and gauge what sort of set I am. I can see that he's physically defensive, but he's not, and based on the damage from the Lava Plume, by the way, he's definitely a little bit invested in special attack. 100% he's invested a little bit in special attack at the very least. It could be a minor amount, could be a major amount, I'm not entirely sure, but I know for sure that he's not entirely physically defensive, especially based on the body slam damage, which helps out a lot, and we'll sort of gauge that as the match goes on. I'm just going to double into Dragalge here. I figure he's going to Rapid Spin or Lava Plume again, and Dragalge's fine with either of those. I just went for the safe Sludge Wave, predicting Infinity to come in. If I had Draco Meteored there like I wanted to, this arrow would be deaded. I do get a really lucky poison though, and he shows Leftovers arrow, which is kind of interesting. I was definitely expecting an Earthquake here, which he does end up going for. Does nothing to my Donphan. I was sort of debating what I wanted to switch in there. I didn't want to reveal Koba on the Buzzwole just yet, and I didn't want to mispredict and him go for a flying move, which looked spammable against my team, really, rather than Earthquake. Well, Earthquake also looked spammable, but yeah, I wasn't entirely sure there. So I'm going to show off my Rock Polish now as he actually switches into Finny, which is interesting. I guess expecting the Ice Shard out of me going into Finny. I'm going to double into Dragalge to eat the Surf, because Surf outcode my Donphan from that range. But now he doesn't have a switch into Dragalge. In comes the Arrow. It lives on 11 with a Sludge Wave, just a little bit more damage, 4% more, and it would have died to the poison damage. Oh well. I'm just going to go into Buzzwole now, because I'm fine with revealing the Koba at this point, I guess was my reasoning there. I'm not entirely sure. As he shows off the Roost, I'm going to double predicting the Flying move, which he actually shows off that he has Fly. So this is a free milk drink for me right here, because I know the Fly turn is coming in. And then he's going to take more poison damage. And I'm just going to Body Slam, throw off another Body Slam. Sorry, Stealth Rock as he roosts, which is fine, and now I'm going to Body Slam to try and get some damage as he subs. So he's sub, EQ, Fly, Roost. Yeah, sub, EQ, Fly, Roost, which is interesting. And I'm just going to break his sub, and then I'm going to double out on the next sub, and I believe I go into... Well, I go into Donphan here. As he subs again. Knockoff is doing like 50% to this thing, because I'm adamant. So that's really good. As he Earthquakes, crits me, and puts me into Lychee Berry range, which is huge, by the way. Putting me into Lychee Berry range is huge right here. So let's talk about this turn really quickly now. I've just Knockoffed. I broke his sub. He's seen Rock Polish and Knockoff for me. There's no way that he expects Ice Shard, and I know this because he told me after the game that he was not expecting Ice Shard here. But also... no one in the right mind would ever expect Ice Shard from a Rock Polish Donphan that's just showing you Knockoff as my best way to hit it. Like, wouldn't I have just Ice Sharded? But either way, that is what I'm going to do, is Ice Shard, so that he can't sub on me. And +1 Ice Shard will always kill this thing, by the way, every single time it kills. So I'm going to do that. We're just going to Ice Shard, pick off the Aerodactyl there, and he's caught a little bit off guard. Shoutouts to Loco for the nickname, by the way, again. He nicknamed his Aerodactyl UBCO, which is the... he graduated from UBC, and I graduated from UBCO, so that's really cool that we're sort of alumni buddies there. In comes the Mega Houndoom here. I was really tempted to just stay in an Earthquake. +1 Ice Shard was still doing negligible damage to this thing, so I figured it wasn't really worth my time to go for that. I also could have Rock Polished at some point. I can't remember what turn I could have Rock Polished, but either way, doesn't matter. I'm going to go into my Miltank, which is obviously my Houndoom check, as he's going to crit me with Dark Pulse, I think, here. Yeah, there's the crit. But the crit does not matter. I'm not in range of another Dark Pulse, and I can Milk Drink, get that HP back, and then one more Milk Drink will put me out of range of that as he goes into the Tapu Fini. Gets that Misty Terrain up, so Body Slam cannot paralyze, but I am kind of okay with just gauging damage, and we'll see the Moonblast damage plus the Body Slam damage. So again, another instance of where Miltank just like staying in and scouting for damage has sort of given me insight on these sets. This Tapu Fini is offensive Tapu Fini, and it has very little, if no, bulk HP investment. I did the calc against max speed, max HP Fini, and this Body Slam was doing way more damage than the calc told me it was. And his Moonblast was doing way more damage than the calc was telling me from no investment Fini. So he's definitely offensive, and I still eat the hits. So Miltank is definitely going to play a very pivotal role in this match, as the Moonblast just keep coming off here. I can just heal them up, and Body Slam. I'm stalling out his Misty Terrain turns as well, so eventually I might be able to get a paralysis on his Fini. And we're just doing tons of damage. So the Leftovers recovery isn't really benefiting him that much as he brings in the Torkoal this turn. I mean, it's taking more damage from my Body Slam, which I'm perfectly okay with, as I think he's going to Rapid Spin here. Yeah, he gets a Rapid Spin off on my Donphan, which I'm also okay with. And I actually opted to just go for the knockoff here, predicting him to switch, but he was Shuka, and he's just going to kill me with the Lava Plume. So the Shuka was a really good play. I actually don't know if he would have lived from there with the Shuka, because I was adamant max attack. But potentially he might have lived with the Shuka. He was at like what, 42%. So I'm not entirely sure if he would have lived with the Shuka or not at that range. I wasn't calcing Shuka. I was just predicting him to switch into. I was honestly just predicting him to switch into the Lando there. But now I get to bring in my Alakazam and pick off a kill on this thing. I didn't click Psychic here. I was thinking about just clicking Psychic, but I figured Mega Houndoom was like a free switch-in to me, and I'm really scared of like Sucker Punch Houndoom. I thought Sucker Punch Houndoom was actually like kind of a good bring to deal with Mega Alakazam, and so I was really scared of that. But I'm just gonna HP Fire, because HP Fire in the sun, you can't see the sun, but it's still up. HP Fire in the sun did kill every time. I'm going to switch into Buzzwole on the very obvious Scarf Lando, considering it's the only thing he brought into my Zam. Houndoom would have died to a Focus Blast, so I'm assuming that's why he didn't bring it in. I'm just going to bring in my Dragalge on, again, the obvious Mega Houndoom play there. And Dark Pulse isn't going to kill my AV Dragalge, so I get to Draco it and kill it. This is another pivotal turn in the match, I think. I could have opted to click Sludge Wave there. It was a 37.5% chance to kill if he had no HP investment, and I'm assuming he sped crept over at least max speed Cryogonal. That would be my best guess. Is that? And after that, maybe max speed Comfy? Maybe? Otherwise, he had free reign to run like almost no speed and speed creep over Buzzwole. Would be the other thing that I would guess that he would want to do. So, yeah, Sludge Wave was a risk, and Draco Meteor was a much safer play. So I opted to Draco. We pick up the kill on the Mega Houndoom, which is huge. In comes the Sawsbuck, and I'm going to Sludge Wave this. Honestly, I figured there's no reason for me to not just sack Dragalge. I can't bring it in again. I didn't bring any removal, so I have to stay in attack. And -2 Sludge Wave almost kills this thing. I'm actually blown away that happened as he sets up an Agility. Very obviously not Chlorophyll, now, the fact that he has Agility now, so he's not relying on the sun, which also makes sense why he wasn't Heat Rock. Torkoal. Makes a ton of sense now. Either way, Headbutt's just going to kill me now, which is A-okay with me, because Buzzwole eats them hits as he goes for the bounce. I make a really bad play in Drain Punch. What I should have done was roosted, predicting the bounce, which I did not do. But now that he's in the air with bounce, he can't flinch me to death, so I get to Drain Punch him. And Serene Grace is going to come into play here as he gets the paralysis on the bounce there. But I do get to kill him with Drain Punch. So, Sawsbuck dead as well, and now it's down to Finny plus Lando. He has to go Finny here. If he goes Lando, then he loses, because I can just Ice Punch the Lando. And then I have Miltank, Megazam, and Salazzle all left that can deal with the Finny. So either way, I have to switch. I'm switching into Miltank here. It's my best special wall, and it eats hits from this Finny like for days. We've seen that already, that it just absorbs hits from this Finny. This Finny cannot do anything to me as long as I stay healthy. So a lot of this game is me clicking Milk Drink, and a lot of this end game is him Moonblasting me and me Milk Drinking and then Body Slamming. Sort of a reliable answer. I'm just putting him in range. Honestly, the main goal here is putting him in range of Alakazam. Is the main thing, because I know for sure that I can win this game at least 2-0. At the very least, I can win this game 2-0 if I play right around this. And even the crit there doesn't matter, because I'm still getting my Milk Drink HP back. And I've stalled out the Misty Terrain turns here, so he can be paralyzed by Body Slam any turn. If it actually happens, which it doesn't. I don't get the paralysis Body Slam, which kind of sucks, but I am opting to go for it over and over again. And I believe at some point I just get him low enough that Miltank can KO it, because I was sort of out at that point. Oh, you know what? Lando comes in on rocks every once in a while. Okay. So there was a turn over here where I clicked rocks, wasn't there? Yes, here. Turn 38, I clicked rocks. I had a good reason for that. Lando's not in range of HP Ice from Salazzle yet, and so I need the rocks damage to ensure that Lando's going to be in range of HP Ice from Salazzle, because I'm 90% sure this thing is Scarf Lando. It Oko's Alakazam with an Earthquake. Buzzwole can eat the Earthquake, but not a flying move, so I either have to put it in a position where Lando has to lock itself into one move, and it can be Earthquake, so that Buzzwole hopefully doesn't get paralyzed, which is the much riskier option, or I can put it in range for HP Ice from Scarf Salazzle, which I know outspeeds this. So that's what I've been playing for this whole time, is getting this Finny in range for Alakazam to come in, then I can sack it off to the Lando. And luckily for me, he actually opts to bring in Lando on a turn that I'm going to Milk Drink. So he's taking Rocks damage U-turns out. So he has to take another turn of Rocks damage, because this Finny would have defogged by now. I'm assuming this Finny would have defogged by now if he'd known. Obviously, because that Intimidate my body slams aren't doing a whole lot of damage, but actually right here is the turn where I'm just going to opt to kill the Finny off and not Milk Drink because it's not worth it. I don't need my HP against the Lando, so I'm perfectly okay with just killing the Finny. And now Lando is at 76%, so I know for sure it's in range of HP Ice if I want it to be. But again, I'm still not entirely sure if he's Scarf or not. I can't risk him being Yachi Berry and then have nothing for this if he Rock Polishes in my face. That would just really suck, actually. So instead, I'm just going to opt to sack off the Miltank, go into Buzzwole, and go for the Haxier option. As Earthquake's doing nothing to me, so if he was Scarf, that was fine. And as long as I got that Roost off, I was probably okay. I opted to click Roost because it bought me more turns of Parahacks. And so at the beginning of the game, I thought Roost was really bad because I wanted to catch Finny on the switch with a Thunder Punch, but in the end, Roost actually paid off quite heftily just for this one turn to give me the opportunity to eat another Earthquake and then Ice Punch this Lando in the face without any Parahacks factoring in whatsoever. So we do pick up the 3-0 win in a match that I was not expecting to win whatsoever, let alone 3-0. So I'm very happy about that. GG's to Loco. Moving ourselves up the standings now, we cannot finish below 500 record. There are 13 weeks and we have 7 wins. We're 7-3 plus 19. That's really good. We started this match in 3rd place, and I believe there's no way that we can be lower than 3rd place after winning. So we're still in a really good position come playoffs, although I did give away a lot of my strategies in the post-game chat, so I'm not looking forward to making playoffs. I'd really love to make a run at the top 2 spots and just get an auto promotion and not have to worry about a playoff stage, especially considering only one of those teams can get promoted after the fact. I'd really rather not deal with that. So that's going to be it for this match. Next week we play Vic, and Vic, if you're watching this, I'm coming for you, buddy. I am coming for you. That's the plan. That's the plan. He's here. Is that I'm coming for you. So we take on Vic and his Houndoom Hercules. Very scary team. Vic is undefeated at this point in the season. He's 9-0 to my knowledge. So we'll be looking to hand him his first loss if he hasn't already had one in week 10. Loco and I are playing this on Wednesday, so I have no idea what the records are going to be like at the end of the week. But that is going to be it for me, guys, and I will catch you guys next time.